All right, folks, welcome back to episode 33 of the Ginge Ball Pod. I'm your host, Hunter Furman, and we got a very special edition of Jack Becker today. How we doing, Beck?
I'm doing great, man. As we mentioned before the pod started, we rescheduled this one a record amount of times. So
17 times.
it's been well in the works, man. I think we got a lot of good content today, a lot to catch up on. Probably too late on a lot of things, but we're right on time for the NBA and all the rumor mills going on there. So let's
Fucking
get right
perfect
to it,
timing.
man. Let's
Let's
fucking
go.
talk about it because there are some topics that are close to home here.
There really are. Beck's Memphis Grizzlies. Are you claiming the Grizz again or no?
No, I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, as you
Oh,
should know.
you're all in on Dylan Brooks. Let's go. But
And Phoenix, believe Phoenix.
yeah, believe Phoenix.
Thank
We
you.
believe Phoenix Suns. But let's start off top with what's been a wild last 24 hours in the NBA. Trades are finally starting to come through right before the deadline here. First among them, I think probably the one that stole most of the headlines today was Memphis trading Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Vince Williams, and Beck's favorite, Jock Landale, to Utah for Walter Clayton Jr., Taylor Hendricks, Kyle Slomo Anderson, George Niang, and three firsts. Beck, what do we think of this one? And how do you think the Grizz are looking right now?
Yeah, it's surprised with the landing spot. I'll say that. Like I didn't expect the Jazz to beat this team to make a move at this point.
Mhm.
And now it puts them in an interesting direction because I mean, the front court pieces are a little bit interesting with him and Kessler. I like the fit
And
for him.
Laurie?
Yeah. In terms of defensively though, getting back to what his forte was and where he's most comfortable as a roamer with the guy who can, is a solidified rebounder at the center position. I think that gives Jaren a better chance to maximize his defensive potential because when he's unable to play that role, I don't think he's a great, a big plus for your defense. So I think this puts him in a better situation for that. Just in terms of like Utah's direction, though, you're probably gonna have to wait till next year to kind of see that
Yeah.
all come into play. But interesting move, very surprising. I'm not shocked Jaren got traded, honestly. I just thought it was going to be like if we saw that move, I thought it would be to a team that kind of had, they wanted to take that next step this year, like a
Yeah.
Charlotte,
Right.
who's on a roll right now. And last time we talked about them, we talked about how Charlotte was directionless, even with a star rookie. Well, kind of all the stars aligned since we talked about them, and now they're
They're so special. We should
on it.
talk about them at some point.
Yeah, I'm down to talk about them on the spot. 8 game winning streak at this point. I thought he would be a good fit there as well and really fit that timeline and that young energy. But Utah, I don't hate the landing spot, like I said. Now, let's go on the flip side of the coin with Memphis.
Mhm.
So you get 3 first-round picks back. Like Vince Williams, 2 years ago, I would have
Yeah, I
never
thought he was going to be
given
so
up on him
special.
like that. Yeah, and then he kind of, any promise of shooting touch that he had,
Yeah.
that went out the window and he became Rajon Rondo clone. Like he has to play on the ball to be effective. He's had some games this year with 15 plus assists, I think multiple. So he's an interesting piece. Conchar, like, will probably get minutes there. Like,
Yeah.
all these guys, except I don't really see Londo having any role in this big rotation because it's way deeper than Memphis probably had the weakest big man rotation in the league, or a bottom 3-1 with all the injuries, like especially with Zach Edey. I don't think Landau will see the floor here, but I think you get 3 pieces that you can use. Like I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination that Conchar is like playing time days are over. I think he'll find a way on the floor here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Vince Williams and Conchar fit 2 needs for Utah for guys that will play some minutes. Back to Memphis. So I apologize there. Get 3 first-round picks, and now you're at you got 13 picks in the first
Yeah.
round over the next 7 years. A lot of people say they're building it up with the OKC Foundation. You got to wait and see. There's a lot of protections on these picks and the way they play out. For Memphis, the goal is to find your best player in franchise history because at this point, I think it's a foregone conclusion that Morant's going to be out the door. That's a really interesting point with Wintour's talking about how this kind of sets them up to be able to use Morant's contract more as a salary dump now to bring in, dead money
Yeah.
to get some more picks here. You're like, that's going to be their avenue. Now they don't have to chase out a great package. So I like the process of getting Jackson out the building first before Morant. And I like that you give yourself time with 2 days, doing it on Tuesday, not waiting till the deadline day and, you know, pretty much praying that everything falls into place with the Morant deal. So I think Morant's going to find his way out one way or another. Maybe a surprising spot, maybe somewhere that's been mocked like Miami or Sacramento. Who knows? But they're obviously going in a rebuild direction here. But yeah, they got to find their franchise pillar and a guy who's going to continue to grow there and become the face of the franchise, not just for his first 3 years, but that has to be something that they, a cornerstone that can be the face of the city and somebody that they can be proud of. And they got to get back to getting dogs on the team. So
yeah, no, I agree. And I think the one thing, and especially what we touched on, or what you touched on there, is that they've gotten a ton of picks in this Bane and Jaren Jackson deal, and they're solid picks too. They're not like, sometimes we see these trades where it's, 3, 4 first going the other way, and it's like you take a look at the picks and it's like 2029 least favorable of like, 3 contending teams. No, these are picks that, could end up being very valuable, especially that 2031 Suns unprotected pick is really interesting to me. Obviously, you have to wait on that one a little bit. The 27 first, that's the most favorable of Jazz, Wolves, Cavs will probably be pretty solid. And then the Lakers 27 first, that's top 4 protected. I think that could be an interesting one too. It'll depend on the health of the Lakers, obviously, but they're like a Luka injury away from being kind of a shitter, and especially
yeah,
just for one season. So yeah, I think the process is really good for the Grizzlies. My thing is, and I know you probably have strong feelings about this, now that you have all these picks, and it's sort of like a Zach Kleiman wet dream, where it's like he can build, the team that he's always wanted to build, and he's kind of had this roster where, I think a lot of us thought that the Grizzlies would be in contention at least at some point over this Ja tenure and with Jaren Jackson and Bane before.
I mean, 100%. They're a 56-win team. In
Yeah,
John's
like
third season.
they were a perennial 50-win team. Is there any fear that like he's just gonna start the clock back and fuck this whole thing up again? Or are you just excited for the future of something new?
By start the clock back, what do you mean? Like just kind of try to reset the timeline again?
Yeah,
I mean,
is there
I
any
think
fear that
that's
he
pretty much what they've done at this point, right?
No, they're 100% rebuilding. I don't think there's any question about that. I'm saying, is there any fear that he won't be able to utilize these assets to the most?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it so many times, I didn't even feel the need to say it. Like, a lot of these picks are going to be mid-round picks, so we know the formula for climbing. Find a guy, just find guys who have played 4 years, work hard, that have, you know, they've shown improvement throughout college, maybe a multiple school kind of guy. They need a pillar, and they're going to need to get lucky in the lottery.
Yeah.
I think they will. I think the NBA knows that. When the NBA seeks that a market is kind of drying up, fortune favors them over history. So I think the Grizzlies will get lucky, and it may be this year in such a loaded class. Like if they can just get into the top 5 here, they got a chance to get in a pillar. But there's so much that like you're already behind the 8 ball now. Like the talent like resurgence has I think started since 2022, and you're seeing like the loaded teams in this league like they go 8 to 10 deep, which is what like the Grizzlies kind of embodied in 2022, which makes it all the more frustrating that you're back at square one now. Like, how did everything fall apart? But I like Coward as a piece. I like Edie as a piece. I don't know if I like them as pillars, which it kind of seems like that's the indication that Kleiman feels like those are 2 guys that I'm not sure if like he wants to build around, but those are going to be guys that are going to be in the mix. Yeah. You're going to have to find guys that fit, besides them pretty seamlessly. I don't think that's an easy thing to do with 2 guys, especially Edie. Like Edie's an interesting kind of fit. So, yeah, well, we'll see, man. I don't have high hopes, but yeah, the process is good here.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I think is evident. And then I just want to read off the picks that Memphis has in total after both of these trades are their own first for the next 7 years, 26 to 32. They have the more favorable of Orlando or Phoenix pick in this upcoming draft. They have a top 4 protected first from the Lakers, as we mentioned. 27 most favorable of Cleveland, Minnesota, Utah, we mentioned. 2029 top two protected swap, 2030 first unprotected from Orlando. Like they have bounty of picks here. And
Yeah.
yeah, it really is like you said. The thing that's tough with this is you can have the picks, but you have to hit the star. Like you have to hit the star.
Yeah, and I feel better about being in the teens now, like the kind of standing position they are in the lottery, just because like, there's always going to be one team every year that gets shot up the
Yeah,
lottery rankings. That shit is entertainment. It's a show first and foremost, and there's going to be a team that rises. It will never be chalk.
Sixer style.
The NBA like can't handle it being chalk. They
Yeah,
have to go out of their way and make it a spectacle. And I'm sure it will be this year. I hope the Grizzlies are, the team that shoots up, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are. But this is kind of the draft that you need to have it in,
yeah, dude. This
which
draft
makes
is
it all the
special.
more because I mean, first 10 games of the season where you're looking at their cachet for this year, and you're feeling incredible about it because you got the Suns pick. The Suns started like 1-4 this year. I know that's
Yeah.
5 games in, but at that point, like nobody is thinking that they're going to be in this position right now. And then the Magic were, I mean, they're still rocky,
I
but
was gonna say they're still.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but there was real questions. Like the first week of the season, is this team just straight up bad?
Yeah.
And is Tinsley going to be fired as a head coach? So you felt like good that they could have like 3 good shots at it, kind of first couple of weeks, but that's wishful thinking. But I think they have a shot with their own pick.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird. This team's going to be a hard watch for a couple of years. They really will be.
Yeah.
Like Cam Spencer in terms of like I forget exactly what advanced statistic it was, but he's like their top ranked player this year
Oh
in
yeah.
terms of like 10 advanced statistics all averaged together.
Like
He's a
Darko or
seven.
some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the 78th best player in the league and easily the best player on the Grizzlies. Like the Grizzlies got to get some talent, man.
But that suits
Like
you this year. That suits you this year. Cam Spencer being your
yeah.
best player is great for this season. You're only 7 games ahead of the Pelicans. Like that, you could easily by the end of the season be in like the top three,
Yeah,
four.
I mean I agree because yeah, I don't think it's exactly where you want to be though because like the Pelicans have like fun talent that you know
Mhm.
we feel like it just doesn't fit right now. The Grizzlies feel like they have young talent that just isn't good enough.
Yeah,
But they play hard. Like they have the playing hard going for them and like playing Isolo's way. Like I think everybody's bought in there, especially like when Morant's on the floor. But they're just not good enough. Like this
yeah.
isn't talent that will
But
none
when
of
you,
none of these
yeah,
guys I feel great about besides like Coward obviously and
yeah,
those guys. Like none of this young talent I feel good about being in the mix in a playoff series. Like you have really nothing besides Coward and Needy
yeah.
to
But
me.
the one thing I'll say is like I think the Pels and the Grizzlies are in completely different scenarios though. I think the Pels
Yeah, I mean,
situation
yeah,
is
100%.
way
But
more dire because they don't have the shining like light in the distance of all these picks. Like they have, I mean, dude, we saw with the trade with the Hawks. Like they need these guys to figure it out. That's their situation.
agreed. Agreed. I just feel like even with the Grizzlies, you can hold your hat on having Coward and Needy, but at the end of the day, really all you have is picks.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck
Yeah,
is
we
that?
don't know
At
what.
the end
Yeah,
of the day?
it's intangible. It's nothing right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean it's interesting. I think as we both have said though multiple times now, the process is good. Now we have to see what the job package is, and then you figure it out from there. But
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly I didn't think the Jaren Jackson trade was going to come during the season. I thought that was going to be an off-season move. So I think to me it's a definitely a step in the right direction. And for Utah, as you said, it's a weird one because they're definitely going to punt this season. I wouldn't even be shocked if like they shut down Triple J and Laurie at
I
some
mean,
point.
they just have too many bodies. I feel like they have too many guys that you know the names of, but you don't know how they all fit in the
Yeah,
mold.
like the Sensaballs,
Yeah.
the Keontaes. Yeah, I mean, for the Jazz, they're starting to compile because with Keontae George turning a corner and becoming like what seems to be a very fun NBA player at the bare minimum, you start to see like they have a couple pieces. Jaren Jackson gives them more stability, which they've desperately lacked. And yeah, like you said, him and Kessler is a great pairing in the front court, just because they complement what the other one doesn't do so well. The spacing will be good. It's just you have to start filling out, some of these marginal pieces on the team, and like maybe like the Sensaballs of the world will turn into something on like a winning team, but we don't know that yet.
Not at all. I hate to say this about a young player who's promising, but it kind of feels like this is the worst thing for the Jazz, like Keontae George being at this
Yeah.
level, because you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. It's also like the Filipowski didn't end up being as good as we thought. Like he was kind of fun for like a second there, and I was like, I can kind of see it. And then
Yeah.
this year he's just been pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, when the Cody Williams of the world are on the basketball court, yeah, a lot of people look
yeah.
promising.
Also, the fact that they like start him now because they're just like, I don't know I guess it's just at this point
Yeah,
they're
it's the Zaire Williams treatment.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like we
we'll
have to
start
shove you in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be penciled in as promising if you don't
Yeah.
just completely piss down your leg here.
He's honestly a guy. All these dudes who are like going back to college, he's a guy who would be like year 6, and you'd be like, "Can I go back to Colorado? Like, is that a thing I can do?" Yeah. So I mean, this was a weird trade to me in the fact that like just the two teams. I wasn't expecting this to be the location for this trade, but yeah, I think it's a good trade for Memphis and an interesting one at the minimum for Utah. I don't know what the fuck their plan is, what Danny Ainge is going to do in the future, but yeah, let's move on to the Celtics trading Anthony Simons in a second to Chicago for Vooch in a second. This one, obviously, the Celtics were in dire need of a big. Vooch sort of fills that like KP spacer big role that they were missing this season. They've way overperformed what most people thought this season without Jason Tatum. Hoping, I think they said he's probably not. Is he going to come back for the playoffs? Do we know yet? Or
Dude, I totally see them being in the mix, like in the second round. So
yeah,
it depends on how much time they can buy. I feel like it's going to be right around that second round or like conference. I think they would have to make a conference finals bid, and he would possibly come back like middle of the series. Then I don't think he's coming back first 2 rounds.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think like the way the Celtics team's playing without him, especially if you had Vooch, like I think they could get there maybe. Like this East
Totally
sucks.
could. Yeah, and
Like the
Vooch kinda
Knicks
has
are
some shit
bad.
to him this year.
Yeah.
The Knicks defense is starting to figure it out, but yeah, I agree. They're an inconsistent group, and do you
And
really
there's just
trust?
weird vibes. Like all the cat shit throughout the year, him being implicated in like trade deals, and then he's eventually probably just gonna stay. I don't know.
Yeah,
The Knicks vibes are off to me.
yeah. It feels a little bit overblown to me. It feels like boredom of the NBA 82 game season. Like
Probably, yeah.
a lot of these headlines are manufactured, man, and
Well,
yeah,
especially the
we'll put
Giannis
on
ones.
we'll put on our stink face so we can play into that. Like man, I don't really buy that those guys don't get along. Honestly, it's something for me to see like Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart
Yeah.
and Carl Anthony Towns like butting heads. Like where would that come from? Where would any of
Yeah.
that bad blood come from? I don't really see that. They seem like all easygoing people.
Yeah. No, I wasn't I don't think that the beef would be like internally. I think it's more so like the fact that Cat's name has just been floated around in like every trade conversation. Like him like how does he feel about like his stability?
His face way worse, man.
Yeah, that's true. He's half of the NBA watching community is just
Right.
homophobic
He
towards him.
also logs onto his phone every day and then sees an AI video of him for
Like
betting
dancing.
props and talking about BPLs and talking in a crazy tone. So
This is true. He's probably got thick skin by
yeah,
now.
yeah.
And then on the Chicago side of this, is Simons anything more than trying to get under the tax, or is this loading up to try to make a bigger deal, or do you think this is just strictly a money move?
I never know what they're doing, bro.
They might think
I
he's a
don't.
special one.
Like, great. Now he's here and he's kind of at the same age that Vucevic was when he brought him in. He'll probably be there for 4 years.
Yeah.
And just like, why?
He reeks of like Zach Levine. Like
Yeah.
he's literally like them just like running that cycle back of like, wait, Anthony Simons is kind of special in Boston this year. Maybe
Yeah.
like he's the chosen one for us.
And Billy Donovan is still their coach, dude. Like this team just is a never-ending
I mean,
cycle of
Patrick Williams is going to be there
uh,
till 2035, man.
the same shit, different year, a little bit different version, some promise here and there, and yeah, just a bunch of bulls mid and right in the
He's
middle.
such a bull, dude. Anthony
Yeah,
Simons is a bull. That makes so much sense to me. Yeah, I think that one's probably mostly a money move. I did originally when I saw it, I was like, huh. Because the Bulls were just weirdly being thrown into the Giannis conversation a lot, and I didn't really get it, and I didn't really know why he would greenlight that. And then I saw this move, and for a second I was like, but we'll have to see on that one. The other move that Chicago made was they got Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley in a deal that sent Kevin Herter, Dario Saric, and a 26 pick swap to Detroit, and then Minnesota just got cash. So they're clearly angling for a Giannis deal. They're gonna have to sort of figure out how to make everything work with that. But what do you think about Ivy first in
yeah.
Chicago
No, that's
and Herter in Detroit?
my first thought. I can't believe. Yeah, I wouldn't have envisioned this being how it played out for him in Detroit when he got drafted. Feels very unceremonious for the ending. Feels like he never was able to get his footing, and feels like he didn't fit the team in Detroit. So, not a, it's like you don't get much back, but you get a shooter that could, you know, try to again. We've been talking about this all season. Just chip away by committee at what you got from Malik Beasley and
Beasley, yeah.
Hardaway last year. Like that's the production they want. I think that's the ideal scenario for them, getting that kind of production shooting wise in the playoffs. So you get another guy who can do that for you. But is Herter a guy that I trust to get hot and kind of be big in those moments like those guys were last year? Not really. I think Malik Beasley had a little bit of more flair to him, a little bit more, want of the moment. But we've seen Herter do it in Atlanta, and probably the fakest playoff year ever, 2021.
I still can't get over that.
The bubble was very overblown because that is the year after is the fakest
Yeah.
season I'll ever see in my life. But also seeing him, become an integral part of a Kings team that, lasted a good season. That was really fun. Well, it lasted.
He's kind of like a one season wonder. Like maybe that's what the Pistons are thinking.
So if you can catch lightning in a bottle with them, then the Pistons, I feel like you come away here a net plus, a net positive. Just it sucks for Ivy, man. And I don't see Chicago being the place where it all comes together. Feels like a mishmash of a lot going on there too, and kind of in the basketball purgatory. But I still got hopes for him. No, I don't think it's over by any means. I just don't think this is the destination where it all comes together. Yeah. And Mike Conley, hope you get bought out and go home to Memphis and retire there.
That would be kind of special.
Yep.
Him running the show for them in like a lottery year, that'd be kind of sweet. Yeah, the other thing is like now that I think about it, so Ivy and Simons both in Chicago. You already have Ayo Dosunmu, Giddey,
Kobe White.
Kobe White still. We'll see if they try to use him in another deal. Yeah, it's a lot of just getting a ton of like kind of fun guards, like combo guards that don't do everything super well. They just kind of do like one or two things well. I think Kobe White's probably the best of the bunch, but yeah, it just feels like they're accumulating young players, which is part of the reason that I thought the Giannis thing was kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, if it's not, and they're just kind of getting all these players just to keep, which is always the worry with the Bulls, is like they will just run out a team with all these guys, and
that may not be the goal. Like the goal may be to trade a hodgepodge of these guys away, but
I think
never a foregone conclusion with this league, especially with the CBA. Like it's very it's very foreseeable that a deal just won't get done.
Yeah, especially now.
We've seen disappointing deadlines over the years. So
yeah, I mean it is a little bbit hard to believe that they're just gonna like keep 4 combo guards that all just like occupy the same role basically. But yeah, I mean, it's at minimum interesting and something to keep your eye on. And I agree that I don't think Conley's a Bull for long. On the Herder thing, it does feel like they still think, as you said, the Malik Beasley role isn't filled. I It's weird to me because Duncan Robinson they got in the offseason and he hasn't really obviously I don't know if we expected a ton out of Duncan Robinson, but clearly they're still looking for like more for that role. It's just it feels it I don't know. It's kind of a boring move for them, but I guess it makes more sense than just having Ivy who clearly didn't fit
Yeah.
and like needed a ton of the ball.
Yeah, and you expedite it. You don't really let it last the offseason where it can affect you in a playoff series. I feel like trying to force that together. You're going into the playoffs best foot forward if you're them,
Hmm.
and then assess it after the season, which I think for the Pistons is the correct move.
Yeah. And I mean, they're still sitting here at 36 and 12. Like they've been special this year. And in this East, as we've said, I mean, it's anyone's, man. And especially if Tatum doesn't come back, like, why can't they just win the East? And then before we get into the Giannis talk, James Harden back in the center
Yeah,
of the NBA globe, man. Under the
I
microscope. What do we think about James Harden getting some trade buzz, especially with the Cavs? There was a lot of talk about a potential Garland Harden swap. He's also been in some rumors with Atlanta. Obviously, that would be pretty special with the strip club scene there. What do we think about Harden back in the news?
yeah I at this point I don't really know what makes this brother tick. Like I'm serious. I don't get it. I kind of
I
thought he
no,
would
I
just
agree.
like let it ride out here. You know, if it happens, it happens in terms of championship. Obviously, that was a long shot at this point, but the Clippers are rolling. Weird timing with that. It just makes you think he like whenever he does something like this, I feel like he has some card that he's playing, and he has an exact. I've never heard him request a trade and not have a desired location and it not end up happening. It's
So
happened the
what's
three
what's the
times.
what's the 3D chess Harden outcome for you?
Yeah, I have no clue. That's why I'm saying I have no idea what makes him tick here.
Yeah.
Like every time before we've had an inclination, and it's taken about a week to transpire, and then it does. In this case, like I can't see the Cavs. Well, what would make him just wake up and be like, yeah, the Cavs is the spot where
Well,
it's gonna happen.
what about another old star who might be in Cleveland in the offseason if you wanted to team up with him?
I don't think he's waiting on that shit.
No, but if he goes to the Cavs and then just plays with Bron, like to close out Bron's career,
no, I don't think that's what he wants to do.
dude.
He wants the ball and he wants to be the lead guy,
Yeah,
and also have a sidekick who can hold his own. But the
sounds like
the
Jalen
the the
Johnson to me.
the yeah. Hey, yeah. Ever since the trade, I mean, Quinn Snyder might be have to be slapped. But yeah, I think Harden wants still to be like have that chance to be in the limelight. Maybe that's part of
Hmm.
like why he wants out of the Clippers because Kawhi's just going so dummy. But you're
Yeah,
on a roll with them,
so
man.
dummy.
And
Yeah, he was cooking.
I get it. Like still, like with how bad you started, it's probably like playing is the ceiling, and
Mhm.
then you get a really tough first round draw, and that just screams Clippers first round loss in like six.
Mhm.
But I don't see the spot right now, so maybe everything will kind of shake itself out over the next 48 hours. But I don't see the obvious location right now at all, like it's been in destinations past.
Yeah, it's weird to me because if LA feels like such a good spot for him right now, like he can kind of just get 25 and 8 like every night if he wants. And like
Man, he
Kawhi's,
fits well with Zubac.
yeah, him and Zubac are a match made in heaven. Brooke Lopez, he can always kick too. He's got Kawhi cooking right now. It does feel weird now. And maybe like I don't know, maybe his and Kawhi's relationship isn't as good as we thought, or maybe it's just not something's not working out in LA that we are not seeing. We know how his relationships with front offices has gone in the past, but yeah, I don't see how, especially the Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta could be a fun fit for him if he were willing to do it. It just feels like a weird one to me right now. Like the 3D chess one would be like if he knew, like if him and somebody knew that they were going to, like say Giannis knew he was going to Atlanta and told Harden he was going. Like a
Or,
situation like that, you'd be like, okay, I see it.
and or he saw what is going down in the valley right now, and he was like, I want to be a part of that.
Oh, so you're angling for Special Agent Uno to go to Phoenix and carry them to the chip with Special Dylan Brooks?
The Clippers have an angle there. They can bring in some young talent, Jalen Green, and you put
Could be
Harden,
good.
Dylan, and DB. I mean, kind of makes sense in my head.
That team, like,
Special.
unironically, that team would be like the 7 seed or 6 seed in the West and be very frisky.
I mean, they're currently the 7 seed right now, and they could easily be the 4 seed. I'm just saying, like, that on paper, honestly, like, kind of makes sense. I don't think it happens, but Matt Ishbia seems like he could be like just dying to do something. Like, so maybe if that gets super duper weird, then that's a possibility. I'm just throwing shit out, trying to think of like other ones that would make half sense, but it's really hard to do. Like, I don't like the Cavs one is just not an option to me.
Well,
So
that's the one that they're like most interested. That's
yeah,
probably like where he's gonna go.
I just can't see that.
I think they're just so done with Garland, like the Garland and Mitchell duo. I think
I
they're just
can't
like
believe
we've
he's
seen it.
down though. I can't believe he's down to go to Cleveland. Like,
I don't know if they give a fuck.
I-
This might
but
not be a situation where they feel like they have to like do right by Garland.
but why does Harden want out then? Like, yeah,
I
like
don't know. That's
him
the
wanting
Harden.
out would have to signify that he has a spot to go. It always
Yeah,
has.
it might. Yeah, I mean it. But the fact that Cleveland is the spot, you don't think there's any world where it's just like he wants to play with Braun?
No, fuck no. The fuck, like, what does that do for him?
You can
No,
just
like,
no. You don't have to. You can't
they would
think
be
about these
terrible.
things
They would be a
logically.
terrible
Yeah,
duo at this
but
point
you
in their
can't
career.
think about it logically. In Harden's head, he's like MVP Rockets Harden.
Yeah, I think like if that was something that happened right now, then yeah. Like if both of them end up somehow getting traded, and then yeah, I don't think he's getting
Wait
traded
until
to
the
Cleveland. Yeah, and wants to wait till next season.
well,
Like fuck no.
they're gonna contend in the East this year, the Cavs.
Yeah, but I don't think he's forcing himself to Cleveland, knowing that he has to wait a year to actually have what he wants there. That
Or he just thinks it's a good situation. Like you have Donovan
he,
Mitchell, Evan Mobley. Like maybe he just thinks that's
I don't think he gives a fuck about that. No, I really don't.
trying to figure out James Harden's brain is the Atlanta one makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Great strip clubs, good town, seems like a cultural fit for James.
yeah.
And play with Jalen Johnson. That one makes so much sense. That's a match made in heaven. The Cleveland one, yeah. If it's not, to me, it's like either there's some weird thing with Braun in coming in the offseason and they've talked about it, or he just thinks he has a better shot at contending in Cleveland.
Does Boston have like any expirings to make that money match somehow? Like, are they sneaky or is that like could Vooch
Why would they
match
want
that?
to do that though? And why would he want to do that?
Because they think they're in the mix and they think they're
Yeah,
close.
but he would never like the ball would be in Brown and Tatum's hands so much.
Yeah, true. I'm just trying to throw out like weird
Yeah.
ones that we don't see on the surface right now, which
I
is kind of
can't
how I
believe
feel.
I can't believe we're like reading tea leaves on James Harden in the big 2026.
I mean, this is an interesting one though. It's
It
just,
is.
like the very very surprising. Like
Well, I started to think about it because last night when I saw the report that him and Garland swap report, I was at first I was like, why the fuck would Cleveland want to do this? Like 26-year-old Darius Garland, you guys are still, it's looked bad in the playoffs for them, but this East sucks. You're still right there. Why do the James Harden thing? Like why now for that?
Mhm.
And then I started thinking about it. I was like, he's kind of been special and like in a way where Mitchell could still get his, and the
Man.
fit with him and Mobley's kind of nice, and the fit with him and Jared Allen's kind of nice. Like I don't know, it started to
And
make a
it's
little
like the
more
one
sense to me.
this would be my lean. It's like the one spot where you feel more comfortable about his floor in the playoffs than like another guy's that's in
You
like
mean Mitchell?
sort of star talks. No, Garland.
Oh, Garland, yeah,
Just in terms of playoffs. I mean, but Harden's playoff stinkers are like up there with
the greats.
yes. But yes, so is Garland's. Like
Yeah.
Garland is a quite the disappearing act, and I think it just in terms of like playmaking, you feel better about like even if Harden's off and passive as shit, like you feel better about his playmaking than Garland could provide you in a playoff setting, which is honestly like all they really should care about at this point. So I get it from Cleveland's perspective. I just can't see Harden seeking that out.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the fact that a deal hasn't been done and might not get done is noteworthy there. But so that's interesting. We'll keep an eye on our special agent Uno. Let's go to Giannis. Let's just get right into it. So the teams that have been heating up in this conversation are the Heat. Obviously, they've been there the whole time. The T-Wolves seem to be making a push. They're gonna have to. They've just been making a lot of moves to like make their books look better. So they're going to have to cobble something together. That's going to have to be like Giannis really wants to go there. And you kind of have to like hold John Horst's feet over the fire there. And then I guess we put the Bulls in there just because they've been mentioned a lot, but I, do, I really can't see the Bulls. And I can't see why Giannis would want to go there. That's
Yeah.
been the thing all along that I just haven't understood at
Yeah,
all.
man, you can scratch that off to me, brother. Like
So can
that's
I, but
just
he's
not
he's been
happening.
at, they've been weirdly like in the odds. Like they were a favorite for a bit. Like, and it didn't make any sense to
Yeah, and do we like? Yeah, I'm not in the business of paying that anytime. Yeah, anybody who ever thought that was a possibility and just stop it. Like, actually stop it. Take a sit. Like, take a deep breath. Think about this logically. He's not going to fucking Chicago. It's just not happening. Chicago has
And
like
they're not
five,
smart enough to pull it off.
and no team is getting horny about 60 D'Angelo Russells. Like the house that D'Angelo Russell built in Chicago over there. Yeah, we're cool. You can keep that mid. We'll find Giannis a real spot. Yeah, Minnesota kind of feels like it might happen because guess what the Miami Heat are? They're the kings of being in the talks, being the top, contender to get a big time player and not doing shit. And it's probably what they're going to do again. But the sad part about it is that they can actually use Terry Rozier's contract now. So if they don't get this done, they should be the team that gets this done by far and whole. Like
Oh
they are
yeah.
the team that should get this done. I just think Pat Riley, like, I mean, we've seen this movie before. He's probably going to be the one who ends up getting Morant for peanuts because that's all he's willing to give up. Yeah, Tyler Hero and Giannis trade talks. Yeah, we're good, man. We'll keep that. Yeah, it's the type of shit they
We'll
do. So
keep
cool.
that.
You can bring Ja Morant and have fun with that one. Like, yeah, he's gonna fit that Noah LaRoche system over there that they just ran in Memphis last year that he hit it. Yeah, that's really smart.
It's the
Um,
special rant.
but yeah, I think Minnesota's like moves on the margins to me move the most mountains in terms of like me kind of having a belief that they now have a shot here. And I think, this ownership group led by A-Rod and, whoever else is with A-Rod, I think they're willing to go out and, make moves to try to win. And they're not afraid to break the mold there. I think they'll go out and try to do this. I think they make this move, they firmly become one of the, now five teams that we probably think could win the title of the West this year. So record-wise, they're right there. They've been in the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years, probably due to some fortunate luck last year, but still, I mean, this is the team that, if you don't do anything, you stand pat, you're definitely in danger of, declining and
Yeah,
just in terms of where you finished the last 2 years. So I think the Timberwolves go out and make that move. And that would be cinema, man.
it
That's
would
what
be.
basketball should root for. But yeah,
Ah, dude, and
the Heat should
Giannis.
really get this done if they're normal.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason the Heat shouldn't get this done. My thing is like for the T-Wolves to get this done, the guys you'd look at to be moved are obviously Julius Randle. Naz Reid's on a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Jaden McDaniels is on a decently sizable deal. Maybe you work in a third team too to make this work. That's why like a lot of people have been talking about the Sixers being the third team to facilitate it and getting Jaden McDaniels. I think that'd be special for us.
Yeah. Honestly, at that point, it feels like if you're Minnesota, you're giving up a lot.
Yeah.
A lot, a
I
lot, a
mean,
lot.
but I think they might
Especially
be.
they give up McDaniels to a third team, not even to,
Yeah.
be for in the
Yeah,
direct Giannis package. That's a little bit grand for me
yeah,
personally.
I don't know if
I
that
don't
would
think they give him
happen.
up.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. The Heat also are just like that's just like such a destination too, which they have at their advantage. Like it really would. It feels like it would be such a layup for them to get this over the line. But yeah, it just there's something about this T-Wolves push here at the end. There's
Yeah,
something about it, man. I really I'm seeing it, and I'm also just thinking about Giannis and Ant-Man in a playoff series and how special that would be. Because Ant-Man has shown us that he will he will bring his squads to the Western Conference Finals without a player like Giannis. Like him and Giannis demon mode in the playoffs would be
yeah.
cinema.
Two special personalities matched, and I I think for them in terms of what you saw in the playoffs last year, you saw. I mean, Randall had his best playoff performance, but I still think you feel comfortable getting him out the door as a playoff guy that you
Oh yeah.
trust. Like you don't feel bad letting him go. And Naz Reid, honestly, like with the money he makes, I think his best days are behind him. And you saw a lot of cracks in that Thunder series. Like if the shot's not dropping, there's not a tremendous lot of value that he brings in, an upper echelon series like that. Even though, he was great in the Denver series 2 years ago, I just kind of think now with just how many guys, can guard in this league, it shows his limitations a little bit more. So I think you'd be willing to give him up. If McDaniels has to be included in this, I kind of think it's tough because it's Giannis, but
Think
I
he
feel like that's too much at that point. I think you lose too much of a nucleus to your team, which, you know, those are the type of guys that you need to win a championship. I don't think you would get over the hump if you give him up
so
or think you would have a chance.
you wouldn't do the Randall and McDaniels for Giannis trade?
Not to say I wouldn't do it. It's just I wouldn't give them a fighter's chance this year to get over the hump at all. And
Let
I
me
think it becomes a lot more difficult to like be able to find a piece who can fill his void in the seasons to come if you do end up doing that.
yeah.
I still think I end up doing it. I'm
Let me
not
let
going to
me
sit here
let
and
me
say
just
I won't.
read the T-Wolves roster if they did do that deal, just so that like people can get a clue. So if this Giannis for the other thing is the T-Wolves don't have picks really, like
Yeah.
they have their first this year. San Antonio has the rights to swap. Their first in 20, they don't have a first in 27. They have a 28 first. They're 20. Dude, they don't have like no pick. So this would just have to be like Giannis wants to play with Ant-Man. And the T-Wolves roster would then be Giannis, Ant, Gobert, Nas, DiVincenzo, Killer Rob Dillingham, Joan
Yeah.
Behringer, Terrence Shannon Jr., Joe Ingles, Bones Highland, Leonard Miller, Jalen Clark, Johnny Ju. Like, this would be a very, very thin roster suddenly.
Yeah.
Um,
Them not getting any production out of Dillingham really hurts. That if you had a guy who, brought value from I think it was the seventh pick, right? Or
Killer Rob, yeah,
yeah.
he was top 10 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he would be the exact piece that could be in this deal, like as a
He was
young
eighth.
player, sweetener that could definitely make this deal easier to make. He basically has zero value right now, so that hurts the T-Wolves position.
Yeah, it's also like McDaniels is the really tough one because on like championship level rosters,
Exactly.
we haven't really seen, and like the Lakers tried to do it too, like with Braun and Luca. We haven't seen that formula of just like two absolute like extraterrestrial superstars basically on their own win a title.
Yeah, but I mean
It's
that's different than LeBron and Luca.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
like that like it's a similar style of like team building. And it's not, and I know you still have Gobert and you have Nas Reed who I like Nas. Obviously he's a fun story and like some of the advanced stuff's pretty good, but like when push
Yeah.
gets to shove, are we like are
No,
we
I'm willing to part ways after the product I saw from him in the Thunder series.
Yeah, like I'm just not sure in a Western Conference Finals you can really count on Nas Reed to be like a difference maker. And yeah, I think the roster would just be really thin, and it would just be can your top can your top three, top four
Yeah.
guys win you a title? And against OKC, I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know if that do you think that their title odds go up that much to justify a Giannis deal?
No, because I think a glaring hole with this team is still the shot creation. Um,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
DiVincenzo on this team has to pretty much force shit up because there's just a lack of that right now. So if they don't end up swinging this move, you're definitely going to go out and see them get somebody who can put the ball on the floor and look to score.
I'd
Like
much rather see
score
that,
first.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I do kind of like the idea of adding another team into this West logjam. Just it brings back that classic like West nostalgia that we've been accustomed to. Like I'm down for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in terms of like basketball and like what you have to give up asset wise, I would go out and just call up the Bulls, man. Like
Literally, grab
yeah,
Jaden Ivey, dude. Like
yeah.
grab Kobe White, grab one of these guys, and like honestly, Andrew,
Kobe White feels like a real like legit
yeah, that would be
guy who could be there.
amazing for them. Like that
Yeah,
would be a genuine playoff difference maker for
yeah.
them. Like a deal like that makes way more sense to me than a Giannis deal would, even though it would just be like reading that tweet would be so special. Like
Yeah.
like Ant-Man
I
and
think we're
Giannis.
all fiending for that after the
Oh
like
yeah, 100% are.
just the shockwaves of the Luka thing and like the time of night it was, and it's like 1 a.m. What the hell do I do? Do I just sit on Twitter all night? Like, yeah, that was a different feeling. It was cinema, and that's something as a fan we'll always remember. So if we could get something like that again that could even come close to that high, then fuck it, we're hitting the pipe.
Look at we're hitting the pipe. The other thing is that we've talked about over text and haven't talked about on the pod yet is the Bucks have to do right by Giannis. This is a Hall of Famer. This is someone who brought you a ring. Is there any chance that Giannis is like, you know what? I want to play with Ant and I want to play with Jaden McDaniels. You're not taking him off Minnesota. You have to figure this out with a third team.
You have to be just incredibly stupid as an organization to say, yeah, you're right, dude. Yeah. You want us to send roses and flowers with you too on your way out? No, dude, do what's best for the organization. What are we talking about? That shit is so overblown. Yeah, they did right by him as well. I feel like they met every request he gave. Yeah, put all my brothers on the bench and signed them to contracts and make sure they're employed for 5 years. Great. Go out and yeah, we won a championship with this Drew Holiday nucleus, but yeah, get him out of here and bring in Dame for me. Now fire the coach who started 34 and 14 so we can fire or hire Doc Rivers. They literally accommodated every request he had.
Was Drew
Now the ship is sinking.
was Drew heading out though? That wasn't like a Giannis thing.
But are you here to say that
Like
he didn't want Dame? I mean, he was
no.
including.
He wanted Dame, but do you think the Drew thing was?
Drew
I
was
guess.
very hurt by that, or like, am I crazy?
Yeah,
Am I
no. You're
remembering
not
this
wrong
incorrectly?
there. No, you're not. You're not wrong that
Wasn't
that.
he like crying? Or
that yeah.
I
No. I mean, you're not wrong that the him wanting Dame was like it was a low blow to Drew, and then eventually Drew got traded. But I mean, it was clear that that Bucks team wasn't going to win anything. And I mean, I don't know. I don't.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying they've literally abided by every request he's ever
Yeah,
had.
no. That part of it, I
You,
100% agree with.
you can do right by the organization now too. Like you can get him
Yeah.
out, you can ship him to a destination that he wants to go without saying, "Yeah, we'll get nothing in return." Thanks, big
Yeah,
bro.
big bro. But on the Bucks side of this, I guess then if you look at it that way, if you can get Jaden McDaniels, him first of all just as like an asset and what he could bring you in a rebuild, and then also him just being like a very good player who's played on a contender.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. This is my thing with guys like that. You gotta let them build their value up for like the second half of the season if you get them right. Ship them out fast after that. I don't think after like the value Rise can have after he shows what he can do as a scorer for the second half of the season, while like the NBA in March and April can be, 'cause, like, the value Rise can have after he shows what he can do as a scorer for the second half of the season, while like the NBA in March and April can be, 'cause, like, the value Rise can have after he shows what he can do as a scorer for the second half of the season, while like the NBA in March and April can be just crazy weird. I'm ready for this alert. I just want to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
this
yeah.
1 point off here. Second half basketball, March and April with these teams taking, you can see some of the fakest performances ever. So he can raise his stock up to a value that's like exceeding anything that he could ever get back by playing another season with the Bucks. I think you give him a half a season and you get him out of the building and don't hoard him like the Pelicans do with Herb Jones,
Yeah, exactly.
expecting five first
That was
round
the guy
picks.
I
Like
thought of
let's
actually.
yeah. Like it reminds me of Mikal Bridges in Brooklyn. I think they held on to him a little bit too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they still got five first round picks from the Knicks. Think
Well,
about
that's
that.
that's what I see with this for
Yeah.
Milwaukee is like you can turn this into a gold mine. But I couldn't pay attention to much of what you were saying because the news did just come in. James Harden has been traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland and a second round pick. So in the end,
Yo, is
James
this brother
Harden
serious? No
James,
fucking way.
James Harden was worth more than Darius Garland in the end. What do we
Dude,
think of this, man?
I can't believe he's in Cleveland, bro. Now, what prompted this? Like, I
Yeah, we
actually
got.
need to.
I'll read what Sean said in the aftermath too. He said Harden and the Clippers worked through his exit over the last few days, resulting in a beneficial outcome for the sides. Also funny that he framed it that way. A win now opportunity for Harden playing at a high level at 36, and recent two-time All-Star in Garland at 26 for the Clippers, present and future.
Bro, he always gets what he wants. He has to want to be here. I guess
Dude,
your
he
LeBron
just.
angle is right. I cannot
You think
believe
it's the
anyone.
LeBron? I,
Yeah,
I
because I don't think this Cleveland team is getting over the
Oh,
hump, dog.
dude, him and that throwback. I might have to cop an Agent Uno Cavs throwback jersey. That's so
I love
special.
Harden. I hate the like just the feeling of this Cavs team. I do.
Yeah, him and Mitchell together is a special combination of playoff unseriousness where it's like Mitchell is so happy
It's
to
not
have
the front
50
court
and
too.
lose,
The
and
front court gets
Harden will
very
just.
overlooked.
Yeah, yeah, Mobley. Also, Mobley
And
needs to become
Allen,
a star. Well,
yeah, Mobley
I'm
and
not. I don't
Allen.
even like. What are we?
They're,
Like, what are we doing with Jared Allen
yeah,
in the Big 26? Like, I'm not even considering that. Like,
yeah. I mean, they're playoff. It's the playoff dropping roster. I don't know how
yeah,
we
yeah.
feel good about this, and it's a team that has already reached its ceiling that we've seen on the basketball court.
Dude,
So
I
I'm
can't
cool
get
on it.
over. I can't get over that
I
James
can't believe
Harden.
this is the destination.
Dude,
That's unbelievable to me.
James Harden at 36 is more valuable than Darius Garland. Dude,
Yeah, it's something Garland's gonna have to look in the mirror at. Like that.
that's where we're at. Yeah, like, but this is to going back to your point after the Trey Young deal. You made probably the best point of the season from either of us so far is the idea that these guards who don't contribute much to the end goal of winning an NBA title, but can be, flashy players who are playmakers, can score, can do a lot of things, who a lot of like the ball is life guys love.
Yep.
This is a wake up call, dude. Like
Yeah.
the value of these players, we saw it with the combo guards, with the Bones Highlands of the world. Those went to the wayside. The Jordan Clarkson guys, those guys, they became basically veteran minimum level guys.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing it with like higher level, like this is an all-star who this team is
What
just
was
giving up on.
it's the talent resurgence in this league is it started and it's coming fast and especially after this draft
Pause.
class comes in this year. Especially after this draft class arrives this year. I mean, you're gonna see there's
Oh my God, I'm so
there's
hyped.
superstars everywhere you look in this draft class. And you know, these guys where I mean, you could kind of start the nucleus of your franchise with two high picks in two drafts and feel good about your future. Nowadays, that's not it's just not the way it is. And for small guards like this, you're not going to be part of the fold much longer unless you have some innate ability that keeps you on the basketball floor with teams that can just defend and shoot at a high clip all around the league. It's at all 30 teams.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's wild because also with this draft, like there's going to be such just another massive insurgence of star level talent in the league. But it's just wild, man. Like how the mighty have fallen with Darius Garland. And then I just want to read off now
Doesn't
that
feel like a great fit in LA too. Just wanted to say that. Like I
yeah,
don't love that for him.
I was thinking about that. I mean, he can there's still a pretty competent roster. Like I feel like they're sort of going to be the same exact team for the most part. I think they lose some creation obviously with Harden, but they
Uh,
seem similar. Like they're probably like a first round exit, second round, first key team.
yeah, I mean, I just like if I'm the Clippers, I feel better about a playoff unit running Kobe Sanders out there and Chris Dunn in the backcourt. I
Kobe
do.
Sanders has
Um,
been
yeah.
nice of
No,
late.
I'm just saying I put the most defense I can around Kawhi, and hopefully he's the most
He's
robotic version of himself, and you can win a playoff series off the back of that. If he's at
yeah.
his top tier level, like he's a problem, and nobody's stopping him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's read the Cavs roster now with Harden on it. So you have Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Tyson, Craig Porter Jr., Evan Mobley, Dean Wade, Naquan Tomlin, Jared Allen, Tyrese Proctor, Thomas Bryant, Lonzo Ball, Sam Merrill, James Harden, Larry Nance Jr., et
Yeah.
cetera, et cetera.
I'm sorry, brother.
Oh,
I'm good.
Dennis Schroeder's a Cav. I completely forgot about that.
I do like him. I
And
do
Keon
like him.
Ellis.
I think Schroeder has a chance to bring some exciting energy to this team, but the problem still remains with Cleveland. Like I don't think swapping out Harden for Garland changes anything of this. I mean, it's more of the same. There's so much mopey energy on this team to me. Like when the moment gets tough, and it's just like the passive aggression on this team is like you can feel it through every single one of their stars.
Yeah.
All four of them. They're all like kind of mopey in the
Yeah,
moment.
I don't disagree. And Harden doesn't help that, as you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, Garland was like the same kind of way. Mitchell, like, I'll put up 30, but it'll be, and I'm
Kind of a
tired
dog.
and I'm moping now because the rest of this team is mopey as shit. Like, the mopey Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was thinking that
hurrah.
nickname. Are they the Eeyore Cavs?
I'm sorry. I don't, I thought Steve, if they couldn't get it done last year against Indiana and the fashion they went out, and I know the injuries and all that, I think they found a brand of basketball that maximized their abilities last year, and they're unable to recapture that lightning in a bottle. And I don't really think Harden being here will be able to change that.
So let's think about what the Cavs have done the past couple days, because I did forget about the Schroeder and Keon Ellis acquisition as well. So they bring in James Harden, Dennis Schroeder, which is hilarious age-wise, and Keon Ellis, who I kind of sneaky love. And they
I'm not
get
sure he's good.
I I think he's good. I think he's at minimum a solid role player. I think he was over-indexed in Sacramento. Like they were starting him, and he was like asked to be more than I think he is. But
I wouldn't say that's over indexed there. That
no,
team
no,
just sucks.
I'm saying he was. You think he sucks? You think Keanu
No,
sucks?
I said that team just sucks. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think he was out of his breath. I think he's just a better basketball player than the talent
Oh
they
yeah,
have
no,
up
he
there.
100% was. He 100% was. But I'm saying like on a contender, he would never play. He would never start.
It's just tough for me to see him like being that much of a difference over like an Isaac Okoro. I'm sorry to say, like the playoff
Yeah,
series, I don't think he gives you that. Like
Isaac
DeAndre Hunter on
Okoro.
paper was the perfect fit for this team. It's
Yeah,
kind of, I mean, he's more Mopey energy too, so it's just funny.
yeah.
Like
I just
the
never
Mopey
saw it
Cowboys.
with DeAndre Hunter. I mean, I think Keon Ellis, although he's like obviously pretty limited offensively, he's been shooting better this year. Like I don't think the
Uh,
shot's like completely cooked, and the defense is obviously great.
who's
He's
guarding wings for this team? And
that's
well,
what I was just about to say is with Harden, Schroeder, Ellis, those are three guys who you'd want on like point guards. And Harden you just want to hide at this point. It's gonna I guess Jalen Tyson can guard wings. I'm looking through. You'd hope Mobley could like, stretch a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for them in the wing department.
yeah,
Mitchell, I guess. But
yeah,
yeah, it's the logjam though of Harden, Schroeder, Ellis is
yeah.
kind of a weird one.
And Evan Mobley, Jaron Jackson the third.
Jared Jackson the third. Yeah, he really needs to figure it out, man. Because I mean, none of this
The
matters
same. Shit.
if
He's a better rebounder, but like I mean, the same kind of problems remain. You need him to be, you
yeah,
need him to be the second star. He's not going to be the second star. It,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to see the vision for the Cavs. I mean, the output. I think Garland's output's going to be is
I mean,
playing.
they tried. As a front office, you can't say they didn't try to get something in place where this should have been enough to get them over the hump. To me, it's not the nucleus that will get the job done. And
Yeah.
I think you've kind of seen the proof of that. I think too much of it still remains here.
Is
That,
one more question to you. So
yeah,
obviously Garland last postseason wasn't healthy and not playing to the level that we had hoped to that point
yep.
this season. Is there any world where you look at this, you like zoom out a little bit and you go, LA just turned 36-year-old James Harden into Darius Garland. Could that be a better move than maybe it initially looks, just based on how he's played recently?
It won't be a huge negative. The I don't see it reaping massive rewards though. I think it's a good move to get young, and hopefully he can provide you some value in the future. I just don't think he's a long-term solution really anywhere.
Yeah, but I even just for like
Point
the
blank.
asset alone,
Yeah,
having a
no,
26-year-old who's a two-time All-Star.
it at the very least it's a net neutral. Like,
Yeah,
and that's at the that's like the worst case. Like, there's no way I can look at the value
and they got a second.
kind of value in this deal and say the Clippers lost this trade. Fuck no.
No.
It's just I don't think he fits well in LA. Don't think he is. It's again, I'm just kind of not a fan of the archetype, so I'm a little bit biased with it. But he would have to show me massive, like he would have to be the best ball handler on the court 9 out of 10 nights for me to kind of change my tune.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the one thing you could say, is this going to be a situation where we look up in the first round of the playoffs and it's like Chris Dunn is in the game in closing time?
I 100% believe it will be. I think their best formula to give themselves a chance in the playoff series again is
It's just
to
demon defense around
it,
Kawhi.
it's kind of the formula that they had. Oh, what series was it? When they played the Suns when first year of KD and so, as a Sun.
Oh,
And Kawhi got hurt after game two, but he was electric the first few
yeah.
games, and he willed them
That
to a
series was
1-1. Yeah.
amazing, dude.
Yeah, if he didn't get hurt, that would have been a show. I think that's their formula. Just put as much defense around them as you can, and hope you can pull the series out.
That was the one where Book and KD both went for like 50 in the one game.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Yep.
such a special
Yep.
series. Yeah, I mean, so I'm stoked that that deal came through on the pod so we could talk about it, especially
Yeah.
after we had discussed the potential of Harden to the Cavs before. And I don't know. So now that that deal is done, we'll see if anything else comes through. I did just want to touch on a couple other things from around the NBA. We had the All-Star teams named. I wanted to ask you who were your snubs from these All-Star rosters. And let me first just read off the teams for each conference here. So we have obviously we're doing team versus world again this year. I guess we've run out of ideas in the NBA. I don't think this is like terrible, but we're going strictly to the away from the conferences USA World, and we have Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Kawhi, Donovan Mitchell, Norman Powell for Team USA. We have Giannis, Denny Avdia, Luca, Shea, Jokic, Jamal Murray, Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, Victor Wembanyama, Team World. And then the reserves as well for USA are Barnes, Booker, Cade, Duren with a first time All Star nod, Ant Man, Chet, Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Maxey was a starter. I just named that completely out of order. It doesn't matter. Who was a snub for you on this All Star roster?
Stats wise, definitely quiet. It's like in terms of stats, even if you want to say the 34 games played is the reason why, you can buy some stock into the fact that this is like an aspiration punishment. The NBA works in the weirdest way sometimes, but about like you just in terms of what he's put on the tape the last month and a half, I mean, he's been special. He's been one of the top three versions of Kawhi over like this
Yeah.
extended period of time that we've seen throughout his career. In terms of like actually saving the value of the All-Star game and making it a good product again, it's easily Dylan Brooks. And the reason why is if you want a good product in the All-Star game, he's the exact person you need in this basketball game. It's like not even a question. So you put him in this game because I mean, look at it right now. The reason this format won't work as currently constructed right now is because the guy who is the face of USA basketball still, you can, I mean, it would be LeBron.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a rat's
He
ass
should
about this
not
game.
be an all-star, dude.
And then you can, this is arguable, but I still think at this point you would say the face of European basketball or world basketball, if you want to call it that, is either Jokic or Luka. And they couldn't give a rat's ass about this
Or
game either.
Giannis. Yeah.
Yeah, Giannis is a point where I think if there's enough surrounding guys who give a fuck, like a Vic, where I think you're getting closer there, I think you can make this game have like some actual tension and hype. But you need, if you have a season like this from Brooks, get him in the game and let's try to save this goddamn product. Like, is Adam Silver wise, like that's a no brainer in terms of if you're trying to recoup your investment here and try to save a dying product in the All Star game. It's easily, you have to put him in this game. And he honestly has earned it. Like a culture setter, been Phoenix's second best player all season. This is a team, you can call them the 7th seed, but they're just as close to the 4 seed as they are the 7 right now. And he's put in the work while Jalen Green has been out and while Booker's been out for extended time as well. I mean, the leap in scoring ability, it's watch the tape. Just watch the tape. But really, like my main point with this is to actually save the dying product of the All-Star game.
Yeah. I like this
Putting him in
take.
this game would be, it's a no-brainer to me.
I really like that take because also like when you think about the guys who wouldn't give a shit about this game, like the LeBron, the Steph Currys, he would get something out of it because he'd be on Team World from Canada. So he's
Exactly.
playing against these guys and he's gonna piss them off so much. And honestly,
Exactly.
if you've ever been on a basketball court and played where, a lot of times there's like, lulls in pickup games where like it feels like nobody's trying and it's like everybody's just kind of, being nonchalant. And then if someone's busting their ass,
Yeah.
even if like you don't feel like trying, you want to show out because they're trying to show out. Like
Nah, like
that,
honestly,
you
like
feed
what?
off that stuff.
Yeah, like a real life example for like us is like we play pickup at the YMCA and like Rourke is up in your grill like off
Yeah, yeah.
check ball and trying to pick your pocket right away. Like, and that brings inherent intensity to the game right away just because we're picking up 94 feet, which he would do. Yeah, he does it every game. It's
Yeah.
part of the mantra. And he would bring a special animosity to this game and intensity that we haven't seen since 2020 when they wanted to honor
Yeah,
Kobe.
we had one special year of the All-Star game and then we were
Yeah.
deprived of it.
Yeah.
That was lightning in a bottle with like
Yeah.
the target score and obviously everybody trying to show out for the late Kobe Bryant. But yeah, I think you're making a really good point, and especially from like a league standpoint. I mean,
There's so much money in this shit, bro. Like,
but
yeah,
we can't trust Adam Silver to make good decisions, man. Like
yeah, that I totally agree there. It's just there's too much money behind this for me to sit back and say, yeah, let's just watch this product fuck off and die another year.
yeah.
Because I
I
mean,
mean,
it is dying. You can like it can get worse. You can get to NFL Pro Bowl
oh my
levels.
God. Speaking of which is going on right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked in either of these two leagues if we get to a point where it's just like they just name the rosters and nothing happens.
yeah.
Like everybody gets a trip to Maui and we just fuck off. But yeah, I mean, it is you'd hope that they do something. And I guess the World versus USA thing is an attempt to get at that. I don't think any of these guys give a shit, especially with like all the emphasis on maintaining their bodies and trying to stay healthy, which I think is probably the main thing for them. Is just like it would be dumb as hell if like Jokic got hurt in a fucking All-Star game. Like it just
Yeah.
kind of would be like
But it would be
their
mad
trainer-
respect at the end of the
Oh,
day.
it'd be big ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like imagine him going back to his trainer and them just being like, "What the fuck, man? Like you got hurt going for a loose ball with Dylan Brooks. You're
Yeah.
being serious with me right now." But yeah, I mean, it sucks to see a guy like Dylan Brooks, especially who's like he's waited for his moment. He's gotten a bigger role in Phoenix and he's really thrived. And you'd like to celebrate things like that instead of just giving, a
You still got
veteran.
a chance with the injury replacements. Yeah,
Yeah,
he won't be the
this is
first, but
true.
there'll probably be like 5.
This is true. So if you were to pick a guy for Brooks to replace on the All-Star team, who is it?
It would probably be Denny if Denny's out with the
Avdia?
injury
That's what I was
because
gonna
he's
say.
on world right now.
Yeah, it would be Avdia. Yeah, that's true because he couldn't be on Team USA. That was the thing. Because I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's no way LeBron's an All-Star.
Yeah, I think though like the most direct route to getting him in is
Yeah,
Adiva or Jesus, I
Avdia.
cannot say that. Yeah, Adiva injury replacement. Holy hell, yeah, that was
Yeah,
definitely so butchered. But
yeah. But
uh,
you got your ISO on Dylan Brooks. Joel Embiid, man. And it's a similar case to Kawhi, where like the reason that neither Kawhi or Joel Embiid are in the All-Star game is because of games played. But when you look at how many games LeBron's played, I think Embiid's played like three more games. Embiid's played 18 of his last 22 games. He's averaging 38 and 4 over that stretch. The
yeah, why is
Sixers are
Pascal Siakam in the game?
the Sixers are 28 and 21. Yeah, I mean, there's just it still seems like we have this thing where, and maybe it is because of USA and World and they had to like do a bit of magic to fit these guys on these teams, but it just feels like they've given nods to guys who, which is what they've always done, like the legacy picks where you just give nods to guys. It would have been great to see for the same reason with Embiid and Kawhi as it is for Dylan Brooks in like a different way. For them, it's like finally being healthy and kind of, beating some of these allegations that, they're just not there for their team. They don't help their teams, you know, contend, all these things. It'd be nice if the league celebrated things like that, these good stories and really like feed into it too. Like harness that. Like make Dylan Brooks becoming a borderline star. Like celebrate that. Make that something that you want the league to strive to. Make Embiid finally being healthy, Kawhi finally being healthy for a long stretch. Like celebrate that. Why are we just throwing guys in the game because they've been around? I don't know.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, man. Like the Pascal Siakam selection this year makes absolutely
That's
no sense.
that one's insane, man. The Pacers are the worst team in the league by miles.
Yep.
And he's not helping the cause. He's also talk about people not playing all their games. I mean, you look at the Pacers bench every night, and there's like four guys not playing,
Yeah.
four
No,
stars.
that one's really like hard to wrap your mind around.
But folks, it's been great. I'm glad we're finally getting some NBA news. Hopefully, a couple more shoes drop. We're enjoying this NBA trade season, and we'll see you soon for some Super Bowl previews.
And
Beck,
probably some more NBA recaps too
I hope
in
so.
terms of trades if we're doing this Thursday night, I would say.
I hope so, dude. I need some
Yeah.
cinema in the next couple days. But folks, thank you for listening, and we'll see you for 34.